Welcome to the Jonversations podcast. I got my man Dupe.
Yes, I'm the one and only Dupe. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good. I appreciate you for just taking me, man. I know you got a big footprint.
Nah, man, it's good, man. I'm always here to, help out and being an olive branch, extended olive branch, get new faces in the mix and, have these conversations.
It's crazy that you say olive branch because I've been trying to find my next tattoo. And I've been saying it. I want it to be an olive branch. I'm so serious.
Well, see, alignment.
So, but
that's all in the alignment right there.
Dude, that's crazy. I literally have been looking up olive branches for my next tattoo. So, but like I said, I appreciate you for letting me come on and be in this spot. Like I said, you got a big footprint, doing a lot of good things in the Hampton Roads for the community. Just seeing it from social media, and it's dope to just be in your presence. So why don't you introduce yourself, let people know what you do, and we'll go from there.
Oh, man, I'm Matheau, Dupe. I do a lot. And literally, when I say I do a lot, I actually do a lot. I'm the head coach at a university. I have a kids program called Player Position. I work between multiple cities. I'm a connector. I like to put people in rooms to have conversations, and I'm about building a better community and creating change.
That's the best thing to do, man. And you've been in soccer for how long?
My entire life.
What's been your journey with soccer? Have you played professionally yourself or got a chance to? Or?
Yes. I've played from being 5 years old all the way up to 28 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing my entire life. I played professionally in Denmark, Germany, Mexico, Canada. Here in the States. So I've been all over 45 out of 50 states, 9 countries.
Dang.
And yeah, I'm just 35, 36 years old. So yeah, I've been
You
around
still got
the block.
a lot of life to live, man.
Yeah, man, I do. But, I enjoy every second of the one I'm living so far, and I have no regrets on it,
That's dope.
I enjoy it all.
So what was it like playing collegiate soccer? Or not collegiate, like professional soccer?
It's funny, man. You only practice for an hour. And
That's what it
after
seems
that,
like.
yeah, it's legit. You practice for about an hour and a half, and everything else you're pretty much held accountable for. So like you have your media moments. You have, if you want to do extra work, that's upon you. But there's no babysitting. There's no one like checking upon you. You got to be on top of your P's and Q's.
Right.
Every day somebody's coming for your job. So if you're off, trust me, there will be somebody that practice the next day ready to take your spot.
The hour of practice is like the best hour of practice you could possibly have.
Not always.
You don't think so?
No, not always. You'll have a bad day, trust me. But
Yeah.
And you'll have great days, but it's being fully focused. There's a reason why you're a professional if you're the best at what you do. And then you're realizing how to make the game simple. Like at that level, it's simplicity.
Yeah, 100%. I've seen that a lot too. What position did you play?
Outside back and center
Defense?
back. Yep.
Dang, dude, that's different.
Yeah.
You struck me as like a winger or something.
I mean, I was at that time, I like to push up. So on a lot of my teams, I was outside back, but I was up and down the sideline, constantly causing havoc. And my side was like an island.
Yeah.
So imagine if Deion Sanders played outside back.
Gotcha.
That was me. The best way to put it, that was me. It was fun. I was pacey. I had a lot of pace. But I was smart. I knew how to read the game. I knew what attacking players like to try to do. And I love to be creative. I would get on the ball. I would try different things. But I knew how to defend very well. Like
right.
1v1, it was always an island for me.
Dang.
And then going into the attack, I was coming at you.
Dang. So, can you say what teams you played for?
Yeah. I played for LA Galaxy. I played for Orange County Blues, LA Blues at the time. I went down to Fort Lauderdale Strikers.
Okay.
I went to Germany, played for Victoria Scheffensburg in Denmark. I had a short stint with Aalborg there. And yeah.
Dang, that's dope. Are you from Hampton Roads?
Yes.
So how in the world did you get professional?
Well, I played for Beach FC when I was younger. I played for the Atlantic Whalers. I played for Old Dominion when the club first started. I was like one of the first teams.
Dang.
My father had a club called West Indies United. That was like an all-Caribbean club back in the day.
Okay.
That I used to play for as well. And yeah, I grew up
entrenched in soccer.
all my life. Lake Taylor, 1991. That was my stomping ground from then till now.
Dang. So that makes sense what we were talking about before.
Right.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I grew up out here, and then when I was a junior in high school, I had signed to go to Old Dominion.
Mm-hmm.
I was a really good player at the time. I had just did ODP for the first time, made it to like the national pool, and it was really big time for me. And I was really focused on soccer.
Yeah.
At the time. I was also into the streets
Mm-hmm.
and being young and dumb.
Yeah.
But I also was like, I was focused. Once I went to Spain for the first time, that's when everything changed for me.
So what was like that, living that agent life, getting out there? What was that like? Because I'm sure going from, Hampton Roads to over there, like the transition was crazy.
Oh, yeah, man. You're 16 years old and you're in Europe
Mm-hmm.
and you get to see
Everything.
European life. Yeah, it's completely different.
We'll
but
call
it's-
it European life.
The best thing about it is that you're free. You can make mistakes, but you're young. So out there, they allow it to happen. Out there, you're 16 years old. You can have your drink. You can you're having wine. You know what I'm saying? Like you're out late, but you're with a group of people your age.
Right.
So it's in a controlled environment. And not everyone, and no one's willy-nilly out there. Like they're not just being reckless.
Gotcha.
Everything is controlled.
Wow.
And that's like the beauty in it is like when you look at it in reality, when those European players come to America at a young age, they're already going out to go drink. You don't hear those things about them,
Right.
but you hear about, teenagers here getting to drink and being able to smoke a cigarette or do anything. It's like, oh, well, they shouldn't be doing that.
Yep.
But over there, they do it early because by the time they hit into their 20s and their late teens, they're well prepared. Like they're focused,
Wow.
so it allows you to have that young and fun time. But then as you mature a lot faster over there.
Absolutely.
Here it's like, oh, it's frowned upon. Like, oh, why is your 16-year-old drinking wine?
Mm-hmm.
Over there, it's normal.
So it's not so much of a obsessive thing over there.
Right.
It's just like kind of like culture.
Yeah, it's all culture.
Dang.
It's all culture. Everything is culture in a certain sense outside of America,
Mm-hmm.
And here it be either the culture becomes frowned upon or it becomes,
Like taboo.
right. That's all.
How old were you when you stopped and came back?
Oh man. I came back at 16, stayed here. I left at 20, came back, went to Mexico, came back. When I finally came back to America, I was 28 years old.
Wow.
After everything. 29 years old.
How old are you now?
35.
So that wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago.
Dang. Was it a good run?
Oh, it was an amazing run.
You get any titles?
Yeah, I got 3 trophies playing. It was great. When you're playing for big clubs and you're getting a chance to experience, the game at a different level, at different paces, you're getting to meet great players that literally have impact.
Any good players that you met?
Oh, yeah.
Superstars?
Roy Keane, Landon Donovan,
Oh,
Giassi
wow.
Zardes, Omar Gonzalez, David Beckham, Thierry Henry, Guillermo Skeletto. What is his
David
name?
Beckham. How old was he when you met him? I didn't know David Beckham was like iconic. Like because I watched his documentary.
Yeah, you
I didn't know he was like that.
Nah, Bex was like that.
Bex
was like that.
I had no idea he was like that.
Nah, Beckham was a good player, man. People just paid attention to, his free kick ability, but he could drop a ball on a dime. He's one of the reasons why I really became really good because I studied his game. Once I figured out that you could get paid for service and dropping balls and leading your team in certain things, I used to do 100 crosses a day.
He was like that.
Yeah. I studied how he served
His
balls.
first goal when he got into professional, what was he? At the half, and I don't know who did he copy? You know what person he copied?
I can't remember.
I forgot what the name was. I just watched the documentary, but I didn't like. He was literally like. I'm talking like Asia. People were like on him like that.
Oh no, Bex is an icon. He's the reason why when you see fashion when it comes to sporting,
Yeah.
Bex is a leader in that sense. He was one of the first soccer players to really bring that attention and that awareness of like changing your hairstyle, wearing certain clothing, and putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Bex is very iconic for that.
Dang. So I know this kind of goes into like the next, like your next world, post soccer career. Like what are you doing in the Hampton Roads?
Again, a lot more in the community. I'm more so dealing with kids right now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the things that I do is dealing with the youth, man. You know, tapping into their mental health, communication, building up their confidence,
Yeah.
showing them the sport of soccer, but also just giving them life lessons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the biggest thing is just being a mentor for them and just showing them that, you know, you can make it out of your neighborhood. You can
Yeah.
make it out. Whatever your dreams are, you can pursue them. And that there's somebody listening. You know,
Right.
a lot of times as adults, since COVID has hit, we as adults, all we think about is mental health for ourselves.
Right.
But when you really get down to the root of it, when you look at a child that's in elementary school that has no outlet, that has to go home to, you know, being told no 24/7, even if they're doing something right, that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't necessarily receive that love or know what love looks like,
Right.
or knowing how to just have a voice and have a conversation, because all
Mm-hmm.
they're ever seeing and all that they know is being screamed at.
Yeah.
You know, all they ever know is negative attention.
Right.
So I just come in and give them positive reassurance. You know, sit down and really have conversations with them, listen to them,
Yeah.
and just talk with them. You know, it's not easy,
Right.
but when they see your face and they see that reaction and they have me in that building, it's a completely different ballgame. And
Their
it's one of
faces,
the reasons.
their faces light up.
Trust me, for me, it is literally something that I really take serious.
How did you fall into that? I mean, do you have kids or like?
Yes, I have 2 kids. I have a son named Justice and my daughter Evie. Having them showed it to me, but I mean, and seeing them in school during the COVID and seeing them my son's frustrations with school
Yeah.
and talking to my nieces and my nephews, you know, and seeing kids like not have an outlet
Yeah.
and realizing like, okay, there's something going on here that we're losing.
Right.
And if I'm gonna get old and they're gonna have to be the ones to take care of me, I at least want to have some kind of input into their lives.
Yeah.
That they'll know that they had someone, no matter
Advocating.
where, right, for
Mhm.
them. Because at the end of the day, if we're not trying to help the younger generations underneath us, we're not doing anything.
Absolutely. Dang, that's deep. So how long you been doing? What is it called? Player position.
Yes, I've been doing player position now, going on 2 years.
Wow. How'd you start it?
Literally, I had sat down with Ethel from Have a Good Day, and we were having a conversation, and I was like, I want to work with kids, and from there, I started to help in little community events.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got with the rec centers and the elementary schools and doing, you know, just having conversations with the kids and doing soccer with them and seeing their faces bright up and seeing them literally when I walk into a school, 50 kids running at me at one time and principals and the teachers looking like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And how come these kids are listening to him? Way different than they respond to us.
Dang.
And that's when I saw my impact.
You were like purpose.
Absolutely.
Dang. Did you ever pray on it? Like, what was did you ever have like,
No, I'll be honest with you. I was working at Restaurant Depot and I had a customer die in my arms. I tried to save his life. Wow. And that moment, 2 weeks later, I tried to go back to work and I couldn't.
Dang.
And
Right there on the boulevard.
that's the only one in the Hampton Roads.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
legit, that was a turning point for me. And then after that, Norfolk Street Soccer, which is now World Street Soccer, we came up with the idea, it was proposed. I came up with my impact in it and what I could do. And once I got into that first rec center, everything from there for me changed. Like I literally got to see kids' whole outlook change, their aspect change of how they communicated with each other and their confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Once you see a child start to believe in themselves, everything changes.
Absolutely. And that really because my girlfriend, she's in mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some crazy stuff going on.
Oh, absolutely.
And any show, any movie that's like a psych thriller, or it's focusing on like a serial killer or like whatever, it always goes back to the childhood, man.
Oh, yeah.
Every
everything
single
goes back.
time. Every single time.
There's always a traumatic change or there's a person that impacts, and whatever that trigger is, whatever that moment is,
Mm-hmm.
that's what they hold on to.
Forever.
And I'm trying to make sure that whatever positive reinforcement, I'm a part of that.
So business-wise, how did you, because I know it's like you have a conversation and like things start kind of going in, but like business-wise, how did you organize it?
I literally reached out to the schools and was like, I want to have an after-school program with soccer. and speaking to the kids. And they were like, sure. When
Like
can you
email or like?
No, I literally just walked in.
Are you
Showed them what I
serious?
was doing, and they were like, okay, perfect. When would you like to start?
Wow.
And I gave them my start date, and I stuck to it. I stayed consistent, and I did every school in the city of Norfolk, every rec center in the city of Norfolk. And once I did that and the kids kept asking me to come back, that's when I was like, okay, I have something here with these kids.
Dang.
And I would literally just show up, just pop up at certain times to the schools. And there's, like I say to you, there's nothing in comparison than you seeing a group of kids,
How old are they?
all elementary school.
Oh,
So from
okay.
like kindergarten to 5th grade.
What they call it? They call you Dupe.
Yup.
That's gotta be dope.
That's it. They see Coach Dupe or they see Dupe, they like, oh, Dupe, I see you. I be like, what's going on, y'all? And literally, it never gets tired, never gets boring, never gets old.
So you got like any plans that you want to expound on with the program, or like any like, are you trying to get out of the Hampton Roads?
Oh,
or?
no. I want to stay in the Hampton Roads, but I want to be, my ultimate goal is to be able to be flown to different countries, different cities, and help.
Like
So, like-
stand up programs like this.
Yes. So, like,
Mhm.
for example, I would love to fly to, like, Palestine
Oh wow.
and just do, like, a clinic for the kids there.
Yeah.
You know, if a tornado hits a certain country, I want to fly there and do something for the kids there.
Mm.
You know, that's my whole goal is when, and not just tragedies, but just be able to fly across the world, do clinics for kids, and just open them up to new light,
Dang.
open them up to new energy. That's my ultimate goal.
How far are you from it?
I think I'm maybe 2 to 3 years away from it. And
Gotcha.
my ultimate, being able to ultimately get to that.
Dang.
But I'm getting closer each day. Different opportunities present themselves. And for me, it's just, I know my presence when I walk into the room,
Mm-hmm.
and I just have this it factor. I don't know how to describe it.
You definitely do.
But when I walk into the room, when I get to speak to people, and then, kids itself, I have this energy. And by the time I'm done, everyone remembers. And they see what I do, and they're just like, yeah, we want more.
Do you study, like, did you, I know you went to school, but you said you left junior year? Is that what it was?
No, I did all 4 years. But I studied psychology and I studied film. But I'm just patient,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I'm very calm. And that's what and to be in this field, you have to be.
Yeah.
You know, you really got to be calm, and you really have to take your time. You have to take your time because they're accustomed to seeing people lose their cool. And they'll
Right.
push you to that moment
Right.
to see you react. Like, a lot of times these kids want to get a reaction because they watch shows that get reactions.
Or their parents.
No, just legit. Like, if you think about it, kids of today only look at YouTube.
Yeah.
They only watch shows. So all those shows that they watch have short attention spans.
Right.
And they all give reactions because they're watching other families. They're watching other kids do what they would like to do with their families.
Right.
So you have to take and really absorb that and realize they're only doing things to get a reaction. They're only doing things to want something.
So it's like, Coach Dupe, like, I'm so angry. And they look at you like, you gonna say anything?
Yeah, and I'll just be like, all right, well, explain.
Dang.
Why are you angry? What's causing you to be angry? Let's talk about it. I don't know how to talk about it. Well, we're not going anywhere until you can explain it to me, because you're telling me you're angry, you're mad. There has to be a reason. Who's making you angry? What's going on? Break it down. And
So-
then that part gets their brain going.
Right. This
And
is
then
like,
now-
this is new.
Right. And then now they
Dang.
understand, like, okay, I'm mad because my teacher told me no. Well, what did you do for your teacher to tell you no? I didn't do anything. Are you sure you didn't do anything? Like, let's really talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You sure you won't standing up and not doing what you, oh, well.
Talking in class.
Right. But, you know, these are the things where once you have these conversations, they start to understand a little bit more, cause and effect.
Have you seen any parents come back and be like, any feedback to you?
Oh,
or-
yeah. I became a guardian for like 3 kids already.
Wow.
Legit. Like, for 3 kids right now, I'm a guardian because of the change that the parents got to see, or that the grandparents got to see in the kid.
Wow.
So that
How's that make, like, how do you go to sleep at night with that?
I don't sleep. I sleep probably on average 3 to 4 hours a day.
Are you into coffee?
I drink a lot of coffee.
Okay.
I drink a lot of coffee, but it's just the fact that, like, there's so much on my mind. and I don't have that moment of like
Peace.
yet, not yet.
I can agree with that, because I think for myself, as being like an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
it's been hard for me to like still my brain.
Right.
Like you get a pencil and you like draw like a little scribble. That's
Yeah.
what my brain feels like a lot of the times. But like, I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. Like I feel like I'm always on go, but it's almost like I want to always be on go.
Yeah. I mean, see, look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm in a position where everything that I've set my mind to, I've accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
And I've realized that if you stay focused, no matter what it is in life, you set your mind to, you can do it. You can literally achieve it.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't doubt yourself.
Right.
Once you start to believe, like you're doing a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
at some point you didn't think that you could do it.
I never thought I would even start to think about doing it.
And here you are.
Yeah.
I dreamt of being a college coach. I dreamt of being a professional since I was a kid. I dreamt of being, and I never steered left away from it.
Mm-hmm.
I may have gotten frustrated. I may have gotten hurt, but I never stopped. And that's the separation, is all mindset. This is the most powerful muscle we have.
Absolutely.
And once it's used the right way, there's a reason why there's a Michael Jordan, a Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. These guys play through the things and they work themselves. It's meticulous detail. It's how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
The people in the rooms that make things happen, they hire the next best person that they know that they can find to think.
So you've been in some rooms.
Yes.
What's it like?
It's great. You get to see people who can do amazing things with their mind. And that might be their best asset, is that one particular thing.
Yeah.
Outside of that, they might not be the smartest person.
Right.
But they can make that specific thing amazing.
How do you get into those rooms?
Patience.
Don't give me that.
It's patience. But it's also, are you accountable?
Yeah.
Are you reliable? Are you ready to sacrifice?
Mm-hmm.
And that word sacrifice is not made for everybody.
Right.
If you have to think twice, it ain't for you.
Right.
Because in order to walk into some of these rooms, when they call, you got to be ready.
Right.
And it's also they're watching you. So
see
that
how
production,
you move.
how you move, your production of what are you putting together?
Mm.
How consistent are you? And then what the people around you say about you.
Mm-hmm.
Because your name could be in rooms that you don't know about yet.
Right. That's a fact.
And it's how you treat people. The biggest thing in life is how you treat people.
Mm-hmm.
That speaks tremendously. You treat people wrong and see how far you get.
Mm-hmm.
But if you treat people the right way.
So what would you say is the right way?
In all honesty, having grace. Not everything is going to be perfect. Not every conversation is going to go the way you want it to. But it's how you had that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's how can you control yourself in a room full of people? Do you know how to maneuver, you know what I'm saying, in different spaces?
How did you
Are
learn
you
that?
self-aware? Since I was a child, I ain't gonna lie to you.
You just having to do it.
I was born to do it. Like, imagine, put it this way. I was the only black kid on the majority of my soccer teams.
Mm-hmm. That'll push you in a corner to have to be able to shake and move.
So you learn fast.
Mm-hmm.
But then I grew up in different neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in a lot of neighborhoods. So
Right.
you get to know the good neighborhoods, the bad neighborhoods. You know, the neighborhood that people say that you can't go into that you're in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So one thing about it, I always became versatile.
Yeah.
So everybody knew me in anywhere I went. And I always treated people good, like no disrespect.
Yeah.
And once you come in and people can respect you and you stand on your own 10 toes, people gonna give you that respect back.
Right.
And the more they see you and they see what you're doing, they're gonna appreciate that.
Oh, that's Dupe.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Dang, that's crazy, man. So I know you say you're really busy. You got player position. What other ventures do you have that you can share?
Oh man. Well, I just finished my first college season coaching at Hampton University. You know,
I was lit when I seen that, and I don't even know you. I was just happy to see that. You know, I think I sent you a message.
Yeah, you did.
Like I had never spoken to you. I only heard of your name through like the grapevine and stuff like
Right.
that. But like I started going to rave.
Yeah.
You know, and I seen that. I was like, yo, congrats. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, no, man, it's a great accomplishment.
How did you get that?
Well, I've been reaching out to the program for like the last couple years, and they offered me an opportunity, and I was grateful for it. And yeah, we just went through my first season, and it was a great experience. You know, it's definitely a lot of learning and a lot of growth in it, a lot of patience again. But it was a great experience, man, being at a HBCU, taking on a whole new program and growing and developing, you know, 40 young women and giving them life lessons again. So it was a great experience, and I enjoy it. I enjoyed it. The girls enjoyed it, and we're all growing together, you know. Player position is another one, you know, being a part of Road Street Soccer, seeing that grow with the pickups and the events that we've put together. You know, I've been a part of a few other events that happen throughout the city, over helping at different, you know, establishments out here and working with the cities. You know, those are the other things that I do. Being a liaison, being an ambassador, also working with football, the clothing that I have on right now. But yeah, it's just, I walk into a lot of different rooms. I get to wear a lot of different hats. But it's because I treat people good, and when I'm called upon, I get things done.
That is kind of what I dream on being, man. Because, like, with this podcast, you know, it's talking to people who do really cool stuff but love God. And, you know, a lot of the times I think, you know, with podcasting, everybody's trying to do it.
Right.
And, you know, you think about, how am I going to make money? Like, all the things, like, start running through your head. And I started to go down that road. Like, I want to make money and all the things. And one of my best friends was like, I didn't know how to do any of the production.
Right.
Apps, and I was just pointing, like, do this, do this, do this, do this. And he was like, yo, I can't do it.
Right.
And I hung up all my stuff for a year. And I was like, shook in my purpose, like, God, like, what am I supposed to do with my life? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I looked at my surrounding. I said, I'm in a B2B sales job.
Right.
My lights are on because I talk to people.
Right.
You know, and I'm able to do the things that I like to do because I guess I have a gift to talk to people. And he said, you need to make your podcast a faith-based podcast. I was like, nobody's going to listen to it. You know, like, you see all the big podcasts coming out, and it has nothing to do with faith. You know, and I was like, nobody's going to listen to it. And
but it's a lane for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, I tried it. And I took that step, and I started to do it. And then people started to reach out to me and was like, yo, your stuff, like, helped me through this week. Similar to you, like, when you seen the kids light up. I was like, God, like, I'm in the right spot, you know? And then I just, like you said, I stayed in my lane, and I started just taking people, interviewing people, whatever, talking to people. And I've been blessed, like, with some pretty big podcasts that reached out to me and was like, yo, we want to be on your show.
Right.
And I was like, God, all right, bet I'm in the right spot.
Nah, man, listen, there's no such thing as, like, when you're starting something, you got to believe in it. Like, if you don't believe in what you're doing, then nobody else will. And the more you believe in it is the more people are going to start to reach out. But when your topics and your points transcend just yourself, that's when you become bigger.
Yeah.
You know, and by doing that, like, you have a faith-based podcast, stay with it.
Yeah.
Because the whole basis of it is faith.
Right.
Do you believe in it?
Right.
And the more that you show that you believe in it, the more people are going to believe in it.
Yeah, and I've been, you know, praying on, like, how do I build a community? You know, and it's the muscle don't come from me, it comes from God. But like you said, I've got to show that I believe in it, and people are like, what is this guy talking about? Let me go ask a quick question. Let me go DM and ask him a quick question. You know, so I guess I got to ask you, like, how has God played a role in your life?
I'll be honest with you, man. In this last year and a half, the Lord has tested me the best. I've broken down to my ends. Down to my ends. Like, on my knees. I've cried more. And it's not out of pain, just out of believing. I've had some moments legit where it's just like, I hear you. I'm listening, and I appreciate you.
Them moments be crazy too.
I could tell you the moment right now. I was
Please do.
watching Black Panther 2,
Mm-hmm.
and I had got a text message. I had just got my LLC.
Mm-hmm.
I had been waiting for it. I had been grieving for my cousin passing, trying to figure out what grieving means.
Mm-hmm.
Having faith into that and trusting that process, and going through all my emotions.
Was that the one that you had
Yes.
the city meeting at?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to touch on that. I wasn't sure to bring it up, but if you want to, we can talk about it.
We're here for a conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, in the last couple of years, I've gone through a lot, and that day, I remember receiving a text message. I remember going silent for a second, and I let out the loudest scream,
Like belt.
cry, tears, pain, frustration. All the buildup that I had for like the last 2.5 years came out. And I was on my knees, and I'll never forget it. I looked up, and from that day forward, I knew I got to remain calm and patient,
Mm-hmm.
because the things that I've gone through, the tests and the tribulations and everything, he's shown me that I'm built for it.
Right.
And if I wasn't built for it, I'd have been broke.
100%.
And to be where I'm at today and to provide this opportunity, trust me, I don't take nothing for granted.
100%. 100%.
Because trust me, I've had moments where, yeah.
It was that time.
Oh, time was there. I've pulled people out of cars
Mm-hmm.
that have passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I've had people literally in my hands.
Dang.
Like, ain't too much that I haven't gone through.
Right.
And for the fact that I've come out of all of that and still stand here, still be able to do all the things that I want to do, whether I'm in pain, suffering or not,
Yeah.
I still make it through.
So do you think, because I know I'm a victim of this, especially being an entrepreneur, like I've tried so many things and so many things have failed. In those trials, did you feel your posture for him weakening?
No.
Talk about it.
Belief.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in myself no matter what, because he allowed that energy to come into me.
Right.
So I never stopped believing in anything that I could put my mind to.
Right.
And everything that I touched and every room that I walked into, it just allowed me to see what I needed to see to become better. And it never stopped. It was just always a matter of, am I prepared to make that sacrifice?
Right.
And at each moment, I've answered that calling.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was for me, the timing was right. If it wasn't for me, he didn't take it away from me. He showed me that it's not my timing.
Right.
And then when my time did come, it was what I did with my choice.
Dang.
And in each moment of choice, it was more so like, you can see the repercussion before it happened,
Mm-hmm.
or you can see the goal before it happened. Which
Right.
way you gonna go?
Dang.
And from there, that's just how it's always been for me.
Dang. That's deep, man. That's deep. Yeah, because I know with myself, like, the posture was weak, and I went through some, obviously nothing to the magnitude you've been through, but there were times where I had to throw the white flag up. Like, I'm talking like you said, on your knees, man.
Yeah.
On your knees. And it was things that I didn't think I would be able to get myself out of, or even like muster up the strength to get to the next day.
Right.
But I look back now, and it's like I was able to get through those days, and the days add up. But like when you're in that moment, you can't look a year down the road. Like you just feel the weight of the world in that moment, And I was like, I don't know how in the world I'm gonna get out of this.
Trust me, man. It's the best thing that I can say is there's 24 hours in a day.
Mm-hmm.
You can either sit there and wallow in it and do nothing and blame everybody, or you can pick yourself up, figure it out.
Yeah.
And the minute you figure it out, and not even figure it out, the minute you get up and say, all right, we're going to go do this,
Right.
he going to throw little crumbs at you
100%.
to see if you're paying attention, you really focused. And then he going to throw distractions at you.
100%.
And whichever way you go with your choice, he watching.
It's crazy you say that because, like, thinking of Job, you know, devil walked up to God and was like, yo, I'm going to test Job. Like, let me test him. God was like, okay, cool. Go do the boils. Go kill the cows. Like, God allowed that, but his posture was there. And then at the end, he was blessed.
Right.
You know? So I think, you know a guy named Justin P?
Justin P. I'm bad with
E-commerce,
names.
support black colleges.
Yes.
So he was in town with this podcast called More Purpose Podcast.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard of them, but they're
I may have. I
Yeah.
can't say that I haven't, but I probably have heard of them before.
Yeah. So they just got back from Oklahoma.